So let's get right into this incredible story. It's all about how a high-stakes legal battle in a remote courtroom actually became the very key that sent an apostle on his way to the heart of the Roman Empire.
I mean, think about that for a second. How can a prison sentence, something we see as a total dead end, actually become a divine mission? It's a wild thought, right? This story completely flips our idea of what an obstacle is, showing us how a moment of incredible danger can turn into a moment of true purpose.
Okay, so our story kicks off in Caesarea. This was the Roman headquarters in Judea, and the stage is set for a legal showdown of epic proportions.
Can you just picture it? The Apostle Paul has been stuck in this legal gray area for 2 whole years, just waiting. But now there's a new sheriff in town, a governor named Porcius Festus. And unlike the last guy, Festus is a man of action. The very next day, he convenes the court. You can just feel the tension in the air.
So Paul's accusers, they come down from Jerusalem, and they just unleash this storm of accusations. I mean, they throw the book at him. Sedition, heresy, sacrilege. These are all charges that could get him killed. But here's the kicker, the most important part of all of this. They couldn't prove a single thing. It was all smoke and mirrors, with zero actual evidence.
And Paul's defense? It is just brilliant in its simplicity. He's direct, he's clean, he's methodical. He doesn't get bogged down in arguments. He just takes each category of accusation against the Jewish law, the temple, and Caesar himself and calmly shuts it down. He's standing on the simple truth, and it's a powerful contrast to all the baseless accusations being thrown his way.
Okay, but this is where the story gets really juicy. The new governor, Festus, well, he's got his own playbook. And let's just say justice isn't the first chapter. You see, Festus's real motive comes down to this one simple idea: doing a favor for the Jews. He's the new guy, and he wants to win points with the local leadership. This isn't about finding the truth. It's a cold political calculation. He's trying to appease a powerful group to make his own life easier.
So Festus suggests moving the trial to Jerusalem. Now, to an outsider, that might sound fair, but Paul knows exactly what it is. It's a trap. The proper Roman court was there in Caesarea. Moving it was a political handout, a total injustice that would put Paul right in the hands of the people who were plotting to kill him. He saw right through it.
And then Festus asks this bombshell of a question. The pressure in that room must have been immense. He's basically cornered Paul. If Paul says no, he risks offending the governor. If he says yes, he's walking straight into an ambush. So what do you do? What do you do when the very system that's supposed to deliver justice is being twisted for politics?
This right here, this is the turning point of the entire story. Paul, seeing the trap for what it is, makes a move that no one was expecting. He plays a card that completely changes the game. Appello ad Caesarem. Boom! With those words, Paul stops the entire provincial court dead in its tracks. You see, as a Roman citizen, this was his absolute, undeniable right. It was a legal masterstroke. It instantly took the case out of Festus's corrupt hands and kicked it up to the highest court in the entire empire, the emperor in Rome. Festus was powerless to stop it. The law was the law.
Now this is where we zoom out and see what's really going on. This wasn't just Paul being a savvy defendant. No, this was the fulfillment of a much, much bigger plan.
Just look at how these pieces lock into place. God had already promised Paul, you are going to testify in Rome. The proposed trial in Jerusalem, that was the human obstacle standing in the way. Paul's appeal to Caesar, his legal right, became the divine key that unlocked the door to Rome. And when Festus finally says, to Caesar, you will go, he has no idea he's not passing a sentence, he's fulfilling a prophecy. Amazing.
So why does any of this ancient legal maneuvering matter to us today? Well, because this story is absolutely packed with timeless wisdom on how we can face injustice in our own lives.
Paul gives us such a clear roadmap here. First, stand on the truth. Defend yourself with the facts. Second, learn to see beneath the surface, to recognize when a so-called favor is really a trap. Third, use the rights you have wisely, not just to save your own skin, but for a greater purpose. And finally, and this is the big one, trust that God's plan is bigger than any human system. He can work through anything to get His will done.
And that really brings us to the final question we have to ask ourselves. Paul appealed to the highest human authority available to him, Caesar. But his story makes it clear his ultimate trust wasn't in Caesar, but in God. So it makes you think, when we're facing our own trials, when justice feels a million miles away, where do we, ultimately, place our appeal?